Hello and welcome to the Leckiju Lounge. This is your host Lex, and as Wadsworth from Clue once said, in flagrante delicto. Hi, hello, and welcome back to the podcast. My brother got married. My brother got married, and also Halloween happened. It was an eventful last week, and I can't wait to talk about it. This is a late night episode. It's currently, when I'm filming this, it's 11:02 p.m. And, I really just kind of been busy, and I ran out of time. So I don't mind the late night vibes, though. I kind of like having the lights on. It's late at night, everyone's asleep, and I'm just like kikiing up here in my room. But yeah, it's the late night hour with Lex Everett. So Halloween, let's talk about Halloween first, okay? Because I don't have honestly that much to say about Halloween. But besides the fact that it was chill. It was a chill year, and actually Halloween Day did not feel as like Halloween-y for me per se. Or maybe it's just different, and it's like getting older and doing different things on Halloween. I didn't, I wasn't planning on like trick-or-treating or anything, and nor did we don't get a whole lot of kids like trick-or-treating at our door, because we live up on a hill, and it's like a lot of kids just skip the house. And like, no biggie, we bought like just a little bit of candy, and we did like give some out. Mostly my mom did though. And so it's like, I don't know. I was planning on catching up on Halloween movies because there were still some movies that I hadn't watched yet. Like there were 3. I narrowed it down. I was like, these 3 movies I have to watch, and that's manageable to watch 3 the night of. So I watched like Hocus Pocus first, Halloween H2O, and Halloween, the one, like it was kind of like the remake from 2018 or the continuation. And I was like, I have to see these 3. Okay. So I did. And that was fun, but like that's kind of all I did. I worked during the day of Halloween, and it just did not really feel like Halloween to me. And it's not like I didn't get my Halloween fix. I think I did. It just felt more spread out. Like, because I went to a Halloween party, I think it was like Halloween, it was October 13th or something. So it's like, it felt Halloween, and I got to like dress up multiple costumes, do the thing. I dressed up multiple times, but it didn't feel like there was like a big one, if that makes sense. And I'll kind of explain more. That was Halloween Day. It was fun. Nothing too special though. Now the wedding was very special. And the Thursday, the day after the wedding, was like a Halloween party idea with the guest who came for the wedding and like stayed overnight. And so like that was kind of my Halloween, but at the same time, it was not like a night party. It was literally like I woke up and started getting in my costume. So like that's what was weird. Because the whole plan was to like, we didn't have that second night to stay there. So it's like we had to leave the day that we were going to dress up. So we didn't get to be there like late at night. It wasn't dark. It was literally like sun up, and we're at a beach house. So you know what I mean? It's just like, it wasn't the vibe, I guess. But it was still fun. It was still a lot of fun. And I'll kind of run back and talk through like how the whole wedding went, because it was honestly a lot of fun. We left on Tuesday, that was a week ago now. It's Tuesday right now. We left Tuesday, and we went down to Isle of Palms in South Carolina. That's where my brother lives, around the area. So they got a beach house, and basically they invited like immediate family, my grandparents, and 3 friends. And it was basically like we all just stayed in the beach house that they also got married in. They got married like in the living room. It was very cute. We brought all the decor and like basically just decorated the house ourselves, and also decorated it like Halloween-esque. And the house was so beautiful. I was like imagining a life there. I get so like into beach houses. It's like my guilty pleasure. Not even guilty about it, but I want to like have a beach house one day, and I've always felt that. Now like my little dream is to have one in Myrtle Beach, because that's where I grew up, but I would take one most places. So it's really beautiful there, and the house, super neat. There was even a hot tub there. That was the selling feature for me. That's where I was hanging out. but it did mess me up. I got like really relaxed in the hot tub. My back was like, I got super loose the first night, then slept on the bed that was like, I guess it was too soft or something. And the next day, I've never been in that much pain. But I woke up not in pain. And then later, like after lunch, I went to drive to go pick up food for like the wedding. And I literally, like, in the car, I was like, why is my back starting to hurt? And when I tell you, it escalated so fast. I've never been in that much pain for my back. And I dance. Like, I've been dancing for years and years and have back pains, but nothing this bad. I'm inhaling to see if it still hurts because, like, it's like a week later and it still does hurt and stuff. It's a lot better, but I like literally couldn't breathe that day. And that was the day of the wedding. And I was really annoyed because I didn't want to be thinking about like a back pain on wedding day. Like, that's stupid. You know what I mean? And I had like a corset just in case I wanted to like whip into my outfit because I thought it looked cool. And then I'm glad I brought it because I thought maybe this will be like a back brace support because it literally runs from my hip bones to like above my rib, like the beginning of my ribs. And so I was like, this will work as a back brace. And sure enough, it did. It felt not great, but it felt better. And I wore that corset for hours and hours. It was like I wore it for so long. The actual wedding itself, so beautiful. So it was my brother, my oldest brother. His name's Brock, and his fiance, now wife, Mish. Her name's Michelle, but she goes by Mish. She's always gone by Mish. And they've been together like 8 years. And my other brother, Ephraim, he officiated the wedding, which was really cool. It was his first. He actually got ordained with the intention of doing theirs. And I think he got it ordained like a year, maybe 2 years ago. It's been a long time. They also got engaged 2 years ago, so probably a year and a half ago he got ordained. And so yeah, they did that very small wedding. They got married like in the living room basically. And she made cakes. She made the cake so adorable. She made the cupcakes. I have a post on my Instagram if you want to see it at Leckiju. It's linked in the description, of course. Those cupcakes were the best cupcakes I've had in like maybe ever. She made them cute, like they look like little bears because they have like a woodsy concept, like bear and raccoon vibe. Because like they have this thing like he's kind of the bear, she's kind of the raccoon. It's cute. You have to know them to like get it because they're just kind of oddballs, but like oddballs together, and it's really cool and cute to see. But yeah, they look like bears, and the icing, everything was homemade. It was so delicious. Like, it was so delicious. I am dreaming about those chocolate cupcakes a week later. And it was just so fun. The whole trip was cool. You know, my grandparents, they haven't like traveled in a while, and I haven't seen them in a while. So like, proud of them for making the travel, first of all. And then also like, it was just fun to see them, fun to kiki. And I got to dance with my brothers. This is maybe one of my favorite parts on the wedding night, because there wasn't like a reception, you know, because it's all just there. It's all just like party, whatever. But it's small. And so we decided like Brock was playing his playlist for the wedding, and it had like some fun songs. It had some K-pop songs, and one of them was like, I think, a Twice song. And of course I know the dance, so I'm like kind of doing it, and Brock knows it and Ephraim knows it. So we're like different parts of the room, but we're kind of doing it. And that kind of turned into a whole thing of like, he was pulling up K-pop songs, and either like, if we knew the dance, like all three of us were trying to do it together, because then it becomes entertaining and everyone wants to watch. Everyone wants to see like, oh, like what dances do they know. They just also haven't seen us three like do something like that together in a long time, at least. So we danced together, and that was super fun. Most of the ones we know that are like similar are like Twice, or I don't know, I feel like Twice is our common area. Maybe ITZY, because like I'm big on ATEEZ obviously, and I know ATEEZ dance is probably the best, and I also know like XG and SBA, but that's not really his area. And then Brock knows Monsta X, like that's his thing, and I've never learned a Monsta X dance, I don't think, ever. So it's like, I don't know, we don't have the same wavelength, but it was still a lot of fun. We did some dances together. There's some videos of that. I need to post them really soon, once I get the videos. But that was one of the best parts. It was just really fun. That and the hot tub were the highlights. Of course, the wedding itself and me now, she's like legal in the family, and that's so cool. She made her dress herself, and it was beautiful. It was really cool. And yeah, that is the wedding. That's really all I have to say on that. It was beautiful. It was perfect. It was small. It was very them. I can't stress that even enough. It's very them. It just seemed like what they wanted, and that's what matters. And then the day after, Halloween party. Then we came home, and I think I worked. Oh, the next day was Halloween. Next day was Halloween, so I worked and then watched movies, like I said. And ever since then, been working. It's busy. I'm a busy girl these days. I'm either working my part-time job, my seasonal job, which is ramping up for the Christmas season, and teaching and choreographing. I'm eating up this choreography gig though. Like, I'm kind of eating it up, and I'm proud of myself and whatnot. Before I move too far from the wedding, I did want to say that, like, I kind of got a wedding fever a little bit. And if you guys know me, then you know that I'm like, I don't see myself getting married, really and truly. I don't. But I just like, I kind of like the idea. I mean, I've said this for a while now that, like, oh, I want a wedding, but I don't want to be married to someone, which is true. And I do think, yeah, you don't get a wedding if you're not gonna like actually be married to someone. That's like kind of the push and pull and the privilege of doing it. But I don't really see myself getting married realistically. I mean, you never say never, of course. But I just like, even if I want the same partner for the rest of my life, I just don't really feel like I need marriage. I don't know. I guess I don't get it. Maybe I'll feel differently in the future, but I've felt that way for a couple years now. And, but seeing them like have a wedding, of course, makes you think like, oh, what would mine be like? You know what I mean? I do think I should be a wedding planner, low key. That should be like a side gig for me. Maybe not a side gig. I think my brother, my other brother, when he gets married, I think he would want me to be involved in like the planning process. I hope. I mean, if not, that's totally fine. But if he did, I think I'd be good at it. And I think I know pretty well like what he would like and stuff. So, that maybe would be where I dabble into wedding planner as the best man. That's my job. Better be the best man. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'd be good at planning weddings. I've planned 3 before, like on Pinterest. I would say not super seriously, but low key. Like, I came up with a whole reception playlist. I came up with venues for the wedding and the reception and the whole theme and like what the bridesmaids and the groomsmen are wearing and the bride and groom and the bouquets. Like, I did kind of do my big one on those Pinterest boards, but I made 2 for my brother, 2 different ones for my brother. He's got married twice, and one for me, one for myself. But because I have different vibes for weddings. For me personally, I have 2 main vibes if I were to get married. Well, one was like my past self. One was like 2020 me, which was okay, the color scheme would be like blues and purples, but kind of like fairy tale vibes. So like lighter blues and purples, think hydrangeas, like the colors that hydrangeas have, and think like Disney. You know how Disney's like blue, like Disney fairy tale, think like that vibe. And then kind of like, I'm not Cinderella literally, but like the Cinderella colors and like the Cinderella silver and blue energy. Yes. Okay, so there's that. And then my like newer vibe is more like a black wedding, because how chic is that? What about everybody wears white and the grooms, in my case like 2 grooms, wear black? Then what? I mean, it'd be cool if it was like a man and a woman wearing black too, like a black wedding dress. So fierce, so iconic. And I just think like non-traditional weddings are cool too. And all black is chic. Imagine it shows up like it looks like they're attending a funeral. Everyone has to wear black, and it's a wedding. Like, that's, at least everyone looks clean. The photos would eat. Everyone looks good in black. You know what I mean? And I think that would be cool. Black is very me. Like black roses. Come on, it's cool. So that would be me if I got married to Choi Son from ATEEZ. or Sangwa or Uyung. They all love black. But the wedding fever was real. Also, like, I had this conversation with my brother, not the one who got married, the other one. And I was like, this is so cool because, like, I mean, here's the thing, me 2 years ago, or like me even just like a little bit ago, would have thought that like there's never a chance that if I were to get married that I would have family attend. You know what I mean? And that's like a sad reality, but I've had this conversation with friends of mine too. Like, I used to have a best friend who was a lesbian, and she like, and I had that conversation of, she did want to get married. I assume still does, but like, she would always say like, it's just sad that to like not to think that your family's not going to be there, or your parents aren't going to want to come, and like that is a really harsh like reality that some people have. And I would have thought the exact same thing even if I were to get married, but now I feel like I'm at a better place with my parents. And I mean, that can always change, things always change, but like, I at least think that if I were to decide to get married, that they would like want to be in attendance. I could be wrong. That's just how I feel. As far as like grandparents and stuff, like this kind of brought it to light, seeing them make this trip and stuff, because he is the first in our family to get married. And I mean, I assume Ephraim is next, and I assume I maybe won't. And I think that'll be an interesting concept for them to grab as a whole, just that like I wouldn't get married. And you know, but they don't necessarily have to understand that. And it's the same when it comes to like grandkids. You know, they expect all of their grandkids to get married, have families, grandkids, just like they did. But at some point, someone's going to have to change it up. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm doing that just to change it up, but at some point, like I fear I'm the one who has to change it up and who has to like start the problems. But I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that because I feel like I'm not meant to live a simple life. I definitely don't think that. And sorry I'm so extra. But all in all, I just think that it would be very fun to have a wedding if I decide to sometime. And I would hope that my family and friends would be down to do it. And the way that they did the wedding with like the beach house and stuff, I think was very cool. And having everyone be able to stay there, I think if I would have slightly bigger like guest list, I think, than they did. But something similar is actually a really good vibe, I think, because then it's like a little mini vacation, as well as maybe like 3 days, as well as, you know, just getting everyone there for the wedding, and it's cool. I'm gonna take a little break, and then we'll come back with some more chit chat and some cues. So I was actually having this conversation today about how I felt like behind in my life. And I want to talk about it because it's not that like, okay, I'm very proud of myself and I feel like I do some really cool things like every day, even like I feel accomplished and I feel proud and whatnot, but like not necessarily in the areas that I really wanted the most. And I think that's where it's like kind of interesting and where it's kind of maybe confusing for other people. See, I don't know if this is relatable at all, but this is what I want to talk about. Because truly, I just think that, I do think I'm like accomplished in some areas, and I feel like I'm also like working up in some areas of my life, but like I'm not seeing the big results in the areas that I want it to. Okay, let's just dive in because this is not making sense. Let me get into it. Okay, so I just feel behind in my life in a way that like I'm 20, which I know is young. Okay, I'm understanding of that. I'm 20, but I feel like especially when it comes to like content creation and modeling, which are kind of like my two things that I really want in life. Like those are my two jobs that I want. Okay, my ideal like career at the moment at least is like model, like, you know, everywhere, working, busy, doing that, being able to do that full time to the point where like, I mean, I'm fine working here and there and like doing maybe like a teaching gig, a choreography gig, but like I want to be able to do modeling full time to the point where like, well, I say that, but it's that mixed with content creation. That's the thing. Okay, I want that, and for like all my in-between time to be doing content creation and brand deals and collaborations. Like I'm putting it out into the universe right now. Okay, this is my manifestation. Instead of journaling, this is how I'm doing it. This is a video journal, okay? And so I just like, that's my goal. That is my goal, especially after this year, like because I currently am working a job that runs until May for sure. And it can continue into summer, but that's like kind of, I'm going to figure it out when I get there. This job runs through May that I'm working, and I'm hoping by May that there's some big change. There's something that I am able to not do this job again next year. Not that I don't love it, not that I don't want it. And if it's right at the right time, then I'm going to do it again, but maybe there's something totally different. I just want there to be a change where I can model full time after this year, at least for a couple of years. Like, I don't know. I just want to experience it. That's what I want. And to fill my time in between. And also, like, I want to be making money for the hard work that I put into my content. I want to be doing content creation. Other than that, like, I'm doing this podcast, like I'm doing, maybe even doing a regular YouTube channel, but like TikTok and Instagram for sure. Like, that's the goal. And the fact that I'm like not doing that right now does get me bummed out. Like, it does make me sad. And why do I feel emotional right now? Why do I feel so passionate right now? It's the late night. Me running on Dr. Pepper and a late night. But it does make me feel very emotional because I feel very behind in those ways. And it's like, girl, get over yourself. Like, you're doing great. You know what I mean? You're doing great. And it's just stupid that I feel that way, because I do have some really cool things going on, and especially with like dance and my teaching aspect and my choreography. That is something that I wanted to do as well. But it's not my dream of all dreams. And I think that's the thing. Like, it's something that, and people maybe don't understand, but like, it's something I love a lot and that I'm very grateful for, but it's not my dream of all dreams, And I don't know, me talking in circles. I'm sorry, you guys. But I just wanted to talk about it because, I mean, it's what I'm feeling right now and I have to get it out. So, I literally wrote in my notes. My notes are crazy. I didn't even get to that one yet. I have, my brother got married, hot tub. I need a man. I didn't even talk about that. We'll get to that in a second. That is more. Wedding fever. I feel behind in life, but very accomplished. It's like, that's a good way to put it though, because like, I do feel accomplished. And like, for a 20-year-old, I mean, like, I don't mean to put other people down, but I feel like in my age, like, there's not a lot of people in my position at my age who are able to like work this job and make what I make. And so I'm very grateful for that. Do not get me wrong. And I do feel very proud of myself for this. But in the areas that mean the most to me, like modeling, content creation, like those, I'm not seeing the results, I guess, that I want to. And obviously I'm going to stick with it like I always do. I'm going to stick with it because I do think one day it's going to happen. But it's just like, until it does, it feels kind of bummed out, and it's hard to focus on the positive things in my positive like career right now, because those are the things that I care the most about, and it will always be that way. I don't see it ever changing. I mean, the modeling career thing is just like, that's everything to me, and that's even more important than content creation for me. But I also just love entertaining online, and I think that it's a good thing to pair. I really admire, like, there's a model, Ken's Loren. I love her, and I really like, she really inspired me years back. Like, I literally followed her, I think, in 2021, and she really inspired me to have the idea of like blending the influencer model type thing, because yes, there's other people doing it, but the way she does it is really good, and like it works for her. And that's just like, I want her life, low-key. I do. She also has a fiance who's a photographer, and I'm like, I'm just jealous. See, that's a good segue to I need a man. My other point of frustration is I need a man. And I do, and I mean that so wholeheartedly. I always tell my brother, this sounds like stupid, and you might not understand what I mean, but when I say like I'm a 20-year-old and I don't know that this is my prime, you know what? I feel like I'm kind of in a good era, but I also don't think that this is my prime, because like I said, whenever I'm in that like booked and busy modeling era as well as influencer era, that's going to be the prime. That's going to be the prime. Or my prime is just like every year. I don't know. Hopefully. But like, I think I'm in like a good spot right now. But I do think that I'm like not my prime. I think that when it comes to a relationship though, I'm like, I'm 20, I'm young, I'm like low-key, like I'm looking kind of fresh, I'm looking kind of fine, and like I at least like the way that I look right now, which is pretty cool to have, because I didn't feel that way like previously. I would say for like the last 2 years I've been vibing with myself, or like since I turned 18. But I don't know, I'm almost feel like I'm going to waste right now. That's the point I'm trying to make. Because I feel like someone needs to be like loving on this. I don't mean necessarily like that, like physically and whatever, but like someone needs to be loving on this. And I just think like I'd be cute in a relationship aesthetic right now. But there's two sides to that coin. I think that part of me says something like, oh, I need to be with someone because I have the time for it right now, where I'm like, I'm not booked and busy and I'm not traveling and I'm like in one area. But then I'm like, but wait, maybe you have to be traveling and booked and busy and you'll meet someone who's like in the industry with you, or who's just like, the vibe is right, you know, maybe I need to get out of the area. Because it seems as though Atlanta and like the Georgia area is not giving it to me, at least for now, at least for a year. I mean, it's been a while of me like not searching. I don't want to say searching. I guess if you're on the apps and stuff, you're searching though. You know what I mean? It's been like over a year and I've been on quite a few apps and I've only gone out one time. Almost twice. Well, technically two with the same person, but almost two different people. But like, I just end up not doing it because I'm like, I know if I'm going on this, why do I feel like I'm settling already? And that's stupid. That's stupid. I'm not going to settle. Ew. No. And that's another part of me where I'm like, maybe I just need to travel. And then like just live the life that I want to live, and then it'll just like fit in seamlessly. That's what people say, at least. Gosh, you guys, this is therapy. This is therapy for me right now. And I'm literally like, I'm getting heated in my room because I'm very passionate about this. And I hope this isn't too boring for you guys. I'm just here to rant. I'm here to talk about myself and what I'm feeling right now. But yeah, so I'm feeling behind in life at the moment because I'm 20. I need to hop to. I need to put some pep in my step and get going because I'm literally behind. And it really doesn't matter what anyone tells me, because people can say very encouraging things, and like people can tell me, you know, you're good at your age, you're doing this, and like, but no one's gonna hold me to the same standard that I'm gonna hold me to, and no one's gonna like push me like I'm gonna push myself. And also, no one sees the vision like I do. No one sees the vision that I have for myself like I do. And it's like, the fact that I'm not there yet is like what's driving me mad, driving me crazy, insane. Like, yes, those are all answers. Yes. You know, enough about that though. I don't want to confuse you guys, or I don't want you guys to call like help for me and say that he needs therapy, because I don't think I do, honestly. Like I said, this is my therapy, so don't think I'm cray. I'm not too cray, and I'm going to get into these Leckiju's Qs. I only had 2 submitted. If you want to be a part of Leckiju's Qs, you can submit on my Instagram at Leckiju and at Leckiju.kpop. It's linked in the description below and in my link tree on the channel. But yeah, I normally just do a few questions. I ask one question every week and include it in the video. This was a random category I did not categorize because I'm lazy, and it's okay though, because y'all are lazy too, and for some reason y'all hate me and only submitted, I literally only got 2 submissions, so I will be using both of those in this video. But please don't be fake in the near future and submit some video or some questions. So first question we have, they're also so different from each other, but it's kind of hilarious. The first one is, do you listen to Monsta X? And if so, who's your bias? Okay. So this was funny because I actually hadn't listened to Monsta X in a long time, but because of the wedding and being with my brother, he played a lot of Monsta X. And Monsta X was honestly some of my first, like my earlier K-pop because of him. My oldest brother listened to K-pop all the time, played Monsta X all the time, and they were some of my first K-pop videos because of him. But no, do I actively listen to them? No, I actually have maybe like 3 of their songs on my playlist, if that. My favorite song of theirs is probably like, don't they have Beautiful Liar as a song? Beyonce. No, they have a song called Beautiful Liar, I think. And they also have a song called Rush Hour. Love both of those. Those are fire. Do they have a song called Fire too? Maybe that's BTS. My bad. If I have a bias, who is it? I would say Hyungwon. Hyungwon, I heard that my brother and his now wife used to always say that like I reminded them of Hyungwon. I think because he's tall and like he used to be very lean and skinny, and he was also just like he has a little bit of sass to him, and I think that's what reminded them of me. So, and I do love his look. I think his look is very chic. It's honestly kind of fashion, especially when he was like more lean. He could have modeled. But yeah, I would say Youngwon. I'm gonna just go with him. I Am's also awesome. My next question is, how old were you when you came out? Sorry if this is a rude question. I'm bi. This is not a rude question. I mean, especially like, bro, I'm telling y'all, it takes a lot to offend me. It does take so much to offend me and like really get to me. The person who's like the best at hurting my feelings is me, honestly. And like I'm the one who can get me emotional, which is kind of fierce. Like I kind of have the reins. Now, how old was I? So I was okay. Well, first of all, I'm gonna answer your question with I never came out. I don't believe in coming out, and like I think I've talked about that on the pod before. I really just don't think that it is necessary. And for some situations, I can see that it's situational. For some situations, it's situational. But no, I never felt like I was going to, and I never felt like I needed to. And it's not that I had like the most accepting experience ever, but I was not going to go out of my way to do that because I thought it's like, oh, my brothers didn't have to come out as straight, so I'm not coming out as gay, which maybe isn't the right mentality to have, but I genuinely believe that. I think like, oh, I wasn't going to say anything until I happened to meet someone, and then it's just going to be the same. Because like I wouldn't have said anything like talked about girls in like a provocative way either. So, unless I was going to go out with a girl and be like, hey, so I met so and so and I'm going to go out with him. So I kind of wanted to do the same situation for a guy. It didn't necessarily play out that way because I ended up meeting with like my ex-boyfriend he was older than me, and it was just a weird situation. He didn't want people to know because he didn't want to lose his job. I know that sounds super sketchy, but trust me, it's not. Like, I'm friends with him to this day. It just wasn't, like, the timing was just weird on it, but we obviously, like, did come out about it later, about the two of us, because we were both adults. It was chill. But it was a weird situation in the beginning. Not in that way. It was very, very, honestly, very innocent to me. I think that, like, it was very wholesome relationship, too, the whole way through. So no, I don't really believe in coming out, first of all. But if you're talking about, like, I'll tell 2 things. First of all, when I, like, realized that I was gay, I think I was 14. 14 really solidified it in the summer when I turned 15. Because when I was 14, I went to boarding school, and I have a whole episode on that. Go watch it. It's literally titled Boarding School Made Me Gay, but it's because I realized that, like, I had a crush on a girl and a guy and this whole thing, and I was 14 for that. And then, like, that was COVID. COVID shut that year down, and COVID summer, I think, is what solidified it. I just, like, really got to thinking and dabbling more into that, and it, like, changed my whole perspective. Then after COVID summer, it was like women were out of my brain. It was only men. So that's that. And as far as like when people knew, my brother knew right away. I mean, through all of that, we talked about it through all of it, and it was confusing, I think, for him. But also, he's just very like cool about things, and we're very understanding of each other. And it's like, I could tell him anything is like, I'm like, you have to believe me on this, and he already does. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even have to prove myself to him ever, and we're kind of the same about that. And so as far as like when other people knew, I told my close friends before I told my parents for sure, but that's because like, I had a best friend and she knew about my like boyfriend situation, and I didn't tell my parents though, because well, one, he didn't want them to know because it wasn't like we were doing anything shady, but he thought that, he's an adult. I was not. And he just didn't want to be put in a bad position because that could get very sketchy. But, and I was also in the position of I'm thinking I might get thrown out of my house. Like, I know that that's so extreme, but at the time you can't tell your younger self and your afraid self that that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? If you tell them, they're not going to believe you. And that gets me worked up, honestly, even just to think about, because I don't even appreciate, well, I do, I swear. But the thought of younger me thinking that is actually really sad. And I'm fine now, obviously. And the way that my family has come very far, it's still not great. There's still moments that are weird or awkward, but it's truly gotten so much better. And I think, well, one, it's me being an adult now. Back then I was younger, and it's kind of you do still have to listen to your parents. If your parents say, no, you're not doing this, you do still have to listen. And I think I still respected them. I still respect them now, because I live with them. But it's still I don't know. It's just a lot. It's just a lot because, I don't know, me now, I feel like I can just tell them hey, I'm doing this, and it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it's so much better than it was. And now years after a lot of the worst of it, I guess, I'm still living with them, and that's such a cool thing that I wish I could show that younger version of myself, and tell them that that's not gonna happen, babe, you're gonna be fine. But yeah, it's a scary thing, and that's why you keep those things from people. And I remember my dad said something that really stuck with me back then. He said that he was telling my mom, he was if your child's hiding something from you, or they're not telling you something, there's probably a reason. And that felt good to be seen, I guess, in that way. And it did really make me think. I was I mean, he's right. The reason I was keeping that is because I thought there could be some really bad consequences for that. Or not only that, but just your parents, I guess, turning on you or being disgusted by you, or, hating that part about you. It's those are extreme words, but that's what is going through your head. So I did not insert that clip of RuPaul going, I didn't expect to do all that. I did not expect to do all that. I really appreciate this person putting in this question, though, because it really did take me to a place. I didn't expect to do all that, and I never actually fully cried, but I was ooh, that voice. Y'all don't know this about me, I don't think, but I love crying and feeling emotions and stuff. And I really don't do it to do pick me. Those, honestly, that just came over me. That really just came over me. But I really love, I love watching people cry in movies, in real life. And that's really messed up. But I also like crying myself a lot too, even though it hurts and it feels it's a good painful. That makes me sound weird. I'm sorry. But I really do love it. Anyways, thank you so much for these questions. And I think I'm going to end it here on this note. Not to be such a sad note, but it's actually positive. At the same time, even though I got emotional, it's positive because we've come so far. So I'm very happy for all that. I'm very grateful. And basically, yeah. Oh, I didn't actually answer that question. How old was I when people really, really knew? I think by the time I was 16, maybe 17, everybody knew. Which, ew, that's crazy. That was 3 years ago when I was 17. I hate that. Okay, on that note, you know what? We're still young. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the pod. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Please, please, please like and subscribe. It really helps me. And turn on the post notifications. We post every Thursday at 6 p.m. EST. And if you have those notifications on, it'll literally tell you, okay? You can feel free to follow my socials in the description below. They're also in my link tree. My TikTok's at Leckiju212, and my Instagrams are at Leckiju and at Leckiju.kpop. I'm posting fun stuff all the time. Hopefully I can entertain you. And let's kiki another Thursday. See you next time. This has been the Leckiju Lounge. Bye-bye.